Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler and today I want to talk about moving around other creatures in the game of Dungeons & Dragons 5e. I've already done a video on movement, but this is sort of a supplement to that. So you can move through a non-hostile creature if you want. You can move through their space. That means if you have allies in your party, you can move through their space. In contrast, it's a little bit more difficult if you want to move through an enemy's space. So if I have, say, a halfling here, rogue, wants to move past the wizard and the ranger here, I can do so. Now the halfling has a speed of 25 feet, so when I move through my allies, it is actually considered difficult terrain. So I move 5, 15, 20, 25 feet. So every time you move through an ally, it's difficult terrain, which means you're going to chew up double the amount of speed that you would normally use. So normally those squares are considered 5 foot of movement. In this case, it'll be considered 10 foot of movement. Another important factor to remember is whether the creature is a friendly creature or an enemy. You cannot willingly end your move in their space. You must make sure that you finish your turn in a space that is not occupied by anything else. So if I take out the golem in this situation, and we place a cultist here, you can't move into the cultist space, but you can move around their space. So the cleric can move around the space, like such, and that's perfectly fine. There's no restriction on doing that. But the paladin cannot move into the same space as the cultist. That's not allowed. The other thing is, if you move away from the space, or away from melee or close combat with a hostile creature, you are going to provoke what is called an opportunity attack. Now I'm not going to explain opportunity attacks, but I would suggest to you, you don't want to do it. Going back to the golem in this situation, you can move through a hostile creature or their space only if the creature is at least 2 sizes larger or smaller than you. So in this situation, the golem is 2 sizes larger than the paladin and the cleric, which means they can move through the space. It would still be considered difficult terrain, which means it's going to half their speed, but they can still do that. So the dwarf in this situation can move through that space. It only has a speed of 25 feet. It can't finish its turn in that space, so it can't move through that area. Okay, but it could have moved through provided it had enough movement. It would have to then burn its action and do a dash to get clear and onto the other side behind the golem. Now you can tell that the golem is 2 sizes larger than the player characters because it takes up 3 by 3 squares. So a normal character takes up 1 square, which is 5 foot by 5 foot, and the golem takes up 15 foot by 15 foot. Okay, that's everything I have on moving around another creature or moving through their space. If you found this video helpful or informative, please share, like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Make a comment below if you have any questions on moving around another creature or through their space, and I will try to answer those questions. I will also point out there are rules in the Dungeon Master's Guide regarding tumbling through an enemy space. They are variant rules. I'm not going to cover them here because I don't think it's appropriate, but you can check them out, and if people really want me to, I will do a video on the tumble check. Until next time, keep rolling those 20s.